Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our Meeting at the Crossroads music series. I'm your host, Darren Lorenzo from Atlanta, Georgia.
And I'm your co-host, Jardé Pierre, all the way from St. Lucia. Our Meeting at the Crossroads series is where you get to meet the artists of Up and Onward, what inspires them, what makes them who they are, and how this pandemic has affected them.
Get ready for our Meeting at the Crossroads. From Southwest Atlanta, y'all, Mr. Tony Hightower. This is It's My Birthday episode.
It's my birthday.
Tony's
episode.
Tuesday.
What's happening?
Welcome to our Meeting at the Crossroads, man.
Absolutely. What's up, my
actually,
brother?
welcome into your casa. So
Yes, mi casa.
we at Tony's house right now, and man, me and this cat been knowing each other. We ain't gonna say how many years, but it's been most of our adult and childhood life.
Absolutely. Long time. Yeah.
Both Atlanta born, ATL, born and bred.
That's right, bro.
Cornbread fed.
Cornbread fed.
You a Grady baby?
No, I'm Southwest, baby.
Southwest baby?
I'm Southwest, so you know, when people talk about, SWATs,
Okay.
like, I'm a true SWATs baby.
So you
I
SWATs
was
true and
born
true.
at Southwest Community Hospital. So that's real SWAT.
And that's literally right around the corner of the old building over there.
Exactly, right around there.
So growing up, you should have actually gone, and we talking a lot of Atlanta talk right now for y'all that don't really understand that.
We got
You really would have supposed to really gone to like Mays.
I sure was. I was mad that I didn't.
Yeah.
I was mad at my mama.
Really?
I did because everybody from, well, not everybody from my middle school, because I wouldn't have met y'all and stuff, but like from middle school, like a lot of my partners from the
Cheers, by the way,
neighborhood.
man.
Cheers. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A lot of my partners and stuff were going to Mays, and I wanted to go to Mays. I'm from this side of town. I wanted to go to Mays, but my mom saw something different. Even though we did the performing arts.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, she already had me in the line. I guess because Northside is a good school or whatever.
Yeah.
So she put me in the elementary school. So we had to audition, but I wouldn't have had to audition anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because I started at Sarah Smith, then went to Sutton.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have gone anyway. I'm so thankful that my mom did do that for more than one reason.
Yeah.
I would be a different person today.
You'd have been up to no good.
Yeah, man. I was.
And this is not saying that Mays is a bad school. A lot of people out of Mays.
But it's a great school. I just know that that was at a point in my life where we trying to figure it out. My dad wasn't there. I'm trying to figure out how to be a man. I'm busting, and I would have chosen. And I was starting to choose other things, and then Northside. But even the first year or two there. But I had something else to put my energy in to keep me from going all the way there.
I got you. And I think my mom did the same. I was a Georgia Baptist baby.
A word?
Yeah. That's what they said babies were dying, but I survived. And I actually, my first childhood home was over there by Niskey Lake.
Oh yeah, that's still here. That's Ben Hill, right?
Yeah, that's still the other cusp of Ben Hill, and I'm in the other part of Ben Hill now, which is right off Fairburn, between Campbellton and Cascade.
Yeah.
So I could have literally gone to Mays or Thero.
Oh yeah, okay.
I actually wanted to go to Mays, or either the Mays or Doug I wanted to go to.
Well, everybody wanted to go to Mays, Doug. If you're from Southwest Atlanta, or from West Side Atlanta, you wanted to go to Mays or Doug. I ain't gonna say. People wanted to go to Thero, but Mays was a popular school.
Yeah.
Doug
We thought that's the cool cutters was there. So
they definitely had the ladies.
They did.
Mays,
they did.
Everybody knows in Atlanta, Mays had the ladies, and then North Atlanta came in, and they had to go.
Yeah, when North Atlanta came in, we stepped up to the plate.
Absolutely.
Northside, we weren't struggling, but we weren't in the caliber of Mays or Doug.
Then it started being like, really North Atlanta.
Exactly. So you true and true ATL, which is what we're figuring out and what we're talking about right now.
Absolutely.
You never actually moved from Atlanta.
No.
Yeah.
We've just, I've spent, lots of time. Yeah, I've never moved. I've just spent lots of time away.
Yeah.
Travel or, be on the road. But no, this is home. I've been here and I love Atlanta. I would love to have some places somewhere else maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But I love home. Unfortunately I lost my mom. But those were the things that were keeping me here now. My grandma.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how I would feel if it was just me. You know, like after, you know, find some wood. She ain't going nowhere no time.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I would feel like if it was just me. If I would want a new surrounding. If I want, you know, I don't know. But right now, man, I love it here, man. You know, and I did think about moving at one time. You know, I thought about coming to New York when you were out there in New York.
Yeah.
And I just know the jazz scene is so heavy out there.
It is.
I was thinking about that, but then I was acting. But we started to get so much here. So I was like, well, why leave? I'm already established here. Man, it's been I mean, well, you know, but I'll tell you, it's been a part of my life forever. My mom, God rest her soul, was a musical giant here in Atlanta. She's a part of the, you know, building blocks of the Atlanta music scene, definitely. So she was a singer. She was singing. She was gigging with me in her stomach. You know what I mean? And then my dad. I mean, I don't know him well, but I know enough to know that he was a great singer. He used to be an MC. So back in the day when they would do the shows, like, you know, like if you watch something from the 70s or 60s or whatever, they would have the shows, but they would have this MC come out, and he would heat the show up. Yeah. So my dad, you know, was a charismatic guy. He could really sing, I heard. Yeah. And he would come and light it up, like for the likes of Johnny Taylor and Bobby Blue Bland and all those different types of artists. So, and he was a percussionist. So it was on both sides of my, you know, my mom and my dad. And then my mom being a single mother, she had me with her all the time. So I would be in a lot of the clubs, concerts, or whatever. And then it was a part of me. So not only was I watching it, then she realized that I had it. I never really started singing though until about the 8th grade. Before that, I was dancing.
And you also played the drums.
Yeah, playing drums and dancing. So people didn't even really know I could sing until the 8th grade. I mean, I was singing, but that wasn't something that people knew.
What started you doing in the 8th grade? Was it girls or what was it?
8th grade, I don't know. I think just I wanted to be in the talent show. I was in the talent show. I had been doing talent shows, dancing and stuff. But me and my good buddy, our good buddy, Enrique Victron, we sang 2 occasions at the talent show that year, and I remember that was the first time people hearing like, oh, Tony can sing, like
Ricky Victron.
Enrique Victron.
2 occasions.
Yeah.
Who sings that?
The Deal.
The Deal?
Yeah, Face in L.A.
All right, yeah.
On 2 occasions.
What's that?
Day and night. Yeah. What makes me treat you the way I do? Gee, baby, ain't I good to you? Too good for a girl like you. Yeah, gee, baby, ain't I good to you? Want you a fur coat for Christmas, a diamond ring, a big fancy car, and everything makes me treat you the way I do. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you? Oh, gee, baby, ain't I good to you?
Yes. You used to be an R&B singer.
I did.
R&B pop,
I was.
Y'all in a group?
Yep.
Called 4.0?
4.0.
Now, who are the members of 4.0, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, well, absolutely not. That was yours truly, along with Ron Jackson, a.k.a. Romeo back then. Hollywood, but we call him Hollywood now. Hollywood Jackson, Jason J.J. Sylvain, and Sammy Cat Daddy Crumb.
And your nickname was what?
T-Bone.
Now, where does that name come from?
Came from a lot of
Well,
things.
there we go. So, and everybody kind of everybody's doing their own thing, and
Everybody's doing their own thing. It's all we're still brothers. It just ran its course, and we thought it was going to be different. There were some things that happened that were beyond our control, but thankfully, we had a good run. We got to do some things that people only dream of doing. We worked with some people that people only dream of working with. So it's a blessing.
And this is R&B mostly, and maybe it might have been like a couple pop tunes that could be considered as a crossover.
Yeah.
So now I know your mother had a lot to do with this influence, but what really got you into jazz? What made you want to change it up? Because I know you were doing the R&B.
Yeah, and even
soul,
after 4.0,
like
I was
what was it called, classic soul you did for a little bit. So
and that was kind of like R&B hip hop. You know what I mean? Because that's my background too. That's all my background.
So what took you into the jazz world, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, so I tell this story all the time. I always wanted to do it, D. You know what I mean? Like, so I remember when we had our deal as the R&B group. I remember saying back then, one day I want to do an album like Nat King Cole.
Okay.
Wearing a tuxedo, like holding the snifter. That was my image of what it was, like just some cool man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like that vibe. I always wanted to do it, so I guess it was something that I wanted to do even then. But we just thought we would have the natural progression, like many careers do. You go out, you do that, you have success with that, and then you say, okay, now something else. And I guess I did to some regard, because we had some success, but we thought it was going to be a lot more successful. But so then I just went through these different changes. I did the R&B hip hop thing. I was producing a lot of hip hop stuff, and then I remember just one day I was like, you know what? I think I want to do this now.
Yeah.
And I just decided to do it. You know what I mean? But I always been listening to it. My mom she started R&B, rock and roll, and pop and stuff too. And then she got into this major jazz thing. I always had a love for it. And I was always listening to it when I didn't even realize I was listening to it.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? So somebody told me that once, or told my mom that once, that he's got so much music in him that he doesn't even realize what's there. I enjoy when I'm with an audience that just wants to hear.
Okay.
They just want to watch. They're gonna be quiet, and then they can clap at the end. I enjoy both. I enjoy interactive shows too, but I think I just got to a place where I wanted to. I just wanted to sing.
There was a boy, a very strange, enchanting boy, and he traveled very far over land and sea. Little shy, like this, but sad of eye, but very wise. Oh, I see, yeah. And then one day, that magic day, he passed my way and told us of the many things, fools and kings. But this he said to me, the greatest thing, baby, you'll ever learn, baby, just to love and be loved in return.
Or straight no chaser.
All of those cats are the listening audience. Now I would consider those guys the people that people do come to listen to.
To listen to.
You know what I mean?
So that wouldn't be a straight no chaser.
It is. Well, Yeah, it's straight ahead.
Straight ahead jazz. Okay.
Straight ahead jazz. I mean, yeah, it's more classic jazz from the great song book.
Okay.
So you know what I'm saying? But I guess it's some straight ahead, because you know what makes the stuff straight ahead is really the walking.
Okay.
Yeah, with this jazz thing, it's so much to learn, and I'm so much. I mean, I'm a student of music, period, but I have so much room to grow. So it's like that was one of the things that made it attractive to me too, because it's like, okay, this is something that I gotta work at, and I have to get people to embrace me in this community.
Especially your more local crowd, more regional crowd that knows you as Tony T-Bone, you know.
And you know, jazz purists, they are like, it's like, as an actor, it's like, you know, it's like doing some certain type of stage plays or certain type of television, and then going to Broadway or going to that, like what people consider serious theater.
Yeah, more
they take it seriously,
legit and classical versus like a more chilling circuit.
And they take it seriously.
Let's laugh every second.
And you can't, and they don't. You have to prove yourself. They don't just welcome you in. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? And that jazz crowd is like that.
Yeah, like okay, brother. Let's see. All right.
Trash man to get my trash today. Oh, why? Because they want more pay. Buses on strike wanna raise the fare, so they can help pollute the air. But that's what makes the world go round. The ups and downs, the carousel, changing people's heads around. Hello, underground, young man. People make the world go round.
Let's speak on Nat King Cole, because you said it's one of your greatest inspirations with jazz, along with his brother Freddie Cole.
Absolutely.
Let's speak on that a little bit.
So, with the Nat King Cole thing, I think when one is learning or trying to learn anything, you have somebody that's an example of, okay, this is what I like. So then when you're trying to learn it, you emulate that person. You know, and for me, as far as jazz was concerned, that was the person that his voice and how he sang and how his diction and all of that stuff, I loved it. And so that was what I would listen to it, and that was what I tried to sound like whenever I did jazz years ago. But I mean, I listened to like Al Jarreau and all that stuff too. But when I decided to do my record, I wanted it to kind of be like this classic thing, and I thought it would be refreshing because you don't hear that much anymore. My mom, who knew, was really good friend. Years later, became really good friends with his brother, Freddie Cole.
Okay.
And who's a jazz legend in his own right. He's still performing. If we weren't on quarantine, he'd be in Japan.
Now he lives in Atlanta?
He does.
Okay.
He lives in Atlanta, right around the corner. I actually cook pork chops and broccoli and
you got down?
llamas. Yeah, I got down. They had everything. Him and his grandson, Tracy Cole.
Now, did you have to follow like a cookbook, or you can kind of cook?
Man, come on, man, don't disrespect me. Like
you can burn?
Man, you know I can burn.
Okay.
He's asking this because we have to do this, but he knows I can cook. I can cook.
So what's the difference between the Nat King Cole and the Freddie Cole? Because I mean, I know the jazz scene knows both of them very well, but some other people might only know about the more popular.
There's certain things that are going to remind you about them because they have the same similar vocal boxes. So the tone may be some different, but I've noticed Mr. Cole's, both of them, Mr. Cole, but Mr. Freddie Cole, his delivery is different. He has this really cool, talky, cool thing, and that's these days. But he's developed into that. He's but they just their choices on how they do it. It's similar, but it's different. It's like he had an album, I Am Not My Brother. You know, because a lot of times, you know, because Nat became so, his star was so big.
Of course.
Sometimes it can, you know, eclipse someone that's coming behind you. But he was successful in showing, hey, I'm not him, he's him, I'm me.
I got you.
So, but they have subtle, I mean, not even subtle differences. I mean, you know, like I said, it's just a delivery thing.
And you've been at it strong now for what? Is it 5 or 6 years?
It's about 6 years now.
6 years?
Yeah, like where that's, like it took me a minute to like change over to where, you know, people say jazz singer. And,
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It took me a minute to get people to take me seriously. One, because they were used to me doing something else.
Your friends included?
Absolutely, everybody. Yeah. Everybody. I remember when I first told some of the radio personality here, some of the musicians, I knew they thought they were gonna get an R&B type of jazz, you know, or like a more of a smooth jazz for me. But I knew that I wanted to do a straight ahead record. And so then I had the blessing of knowing Henry Conaway, who I met years prior through Farnsworth Bentley. He was friends with them, and Henry was in a group called the Jazz Specs, and they were some cats here. They went to Morehouse. I think they went to Morehouse. If I'm not mistaken. And they were doing like this. It was straight ahead, but a fusion of like some hip hop and R&B soul. It was like this cool thing. They like, I think the first time we heard Janelle Monáe was on their record too.
Wow. Say the name for, what's the name of them again?
The Jazz Specs.
Okay.
Jazz Specs.
Now these are some clean cats. I've seen Henry before, and then obviously Farnsworth is clean. Yeah. And y'all got to check out this brother. He clean right now too. You know he got.
Man, I'm doing,
all right.
This is
coordinate.
This is the summertime thing. You got to coordinate it. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep it popping. You feel me?
I hear that. Well, it's dark out here. The flies and the gnats and everything out here. Yeah. Let's take it on in and let's talk some more inside.
All right, I'm with it, bro. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. Smile through your fear and sorrow. Smile, and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through for you.
All right, we back. We had to come inside. It's a good, cool breeze.
Nice. Got the fan going, the AC going too. Yeah. Sometimes you got to circulate that AC too. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Just make sure it's getting everywhere.
Yeah. And well, out here it gets really warm because
this is considered like a sunroom.
Yeah, so it gets warm. It's always warm in here, man.
It's a nice house, man.
My air conditioning was just off. That came today.
How many days
to fix it? I was without it. Maybe 3. It's been about 3 or 4 days.
And people that's been to Atlanta know that the humidity here, and without air,
my God.
Because I'm actually quarantined with my mom right now, and I understand that struggle daily.
Yes, you do. Because they don't like to run the air like that.
Yeah, she was like, I don't feel it, but the sweat just be coming down the face. You just always complaining. I'm like, yeah, but you're wet.
Yeah. I am burning up, Mom.
I'm actually frying.
My grandma is so funny, man. I go over there. I went over there today to take her something. And because, you know, when this happened, she was like, well, baby, you can come over here with me. I was like, no, I'm not coming over there. You got it. It's gonna feel just like
83 degrees.
It does over here.
Yeah,
no thanks. I'm cool. I'll sleep up under the fan. You know,
it's so crazy, man. And what's your grandma's name?
Martha Mud Deer Hightower.
Mud Deer is what they call it.
Mud Deer. Yeah, but she's good.
Now, she from Atlanta originally?
She's originally Pine Mountain.
Okay.
Which is, well, you know, it's Georgia, so it's just like right up the street. Pine Mountain is would be considered Callaway Gardens now. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it was. Pine Mountain, Georgia. Yeah, right up the street.
And that was your mom from Pine Mountain, or was she in
My
Atlanta?
mom was an Army brat.
Oh, so she moved around.
Yeah, my mom was actually born in, I think it was Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Okay. Now, did she live in Europe as well?
Yeah, she did. Yeah, they lived in Germany for a while.
Wow.
And then, yeah, she talked about how she got picked on and teased when she first came here because she spoke so, you know, she had been over there. She spoke such correct English. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she came here and, you know, it was all this southern drawl, and they were like, why are you talking like that?
You sound funny.
Yeah, exactly.
I got that.
Yeah, but that's what she. So my mom was from all over. But
Okay.
she settled in. They settled in Atlanta her high school year, and then so her high school year she was coming here to start, and she ended up going to the school and becoming Miss Southwest.
Miss Southwest. I was about to ask you what school she went to.
Southwest High School.
Man, high school, man. It brings me back to like the yearbook. I won't really show the year.
Man. Wow. Yeah, don't show the year.
But this was one of the years, and I'm just trying to look through here.
Man, you just messed me up. Oh, bro, you can't.
See if you can find.
Oh, bro,
See if you can find some stuff in there for you.
You set me up, Jack.
I did, and you fell
did.
right into the trap. So let me see what I find.
Wow. Oh, this is when we were sophomores.
That one was.
This is sophomore year. I'm looking at the class.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Because
at
the
class.
freshman was the only one I couldn't find. I was asking my
Man,
mom
I
about
don't
it.
have any of these, bro.
Yeah, and I gotta take them back home so you can't have these.
I need to. Man, I did. You know what? I thought I was too cool, man.
Oh, you never even like wanted to get them?
I have all my stuff from I think from middle school. That's the last time. I never got a high school yearbook. I was just on some whatever, but I wasn't thinking about like today I would love. I haven't seen these things in years.
Oh, now this is our class right here. Yeah.
I haven't seen this stuff.
This seems like a
Man.
senior year.
Oh man. Oh man, look at the hairstyles. Oh, this is crazy.
Yeah, I messed you up on this one.
Yeah, you did, bro. You did.
Oh, this is our class too.
Oh man. Man, they robbed me this year, man. This is our senior year. I had one. This is what was told to me.
Yeah, I'm listening to you.
I'm not making it up.
I understand.
Whatever. Listen, I felt a way about this for a long time. I had one best dress. I did. I mean, well, you know.
Yeah, okay.
That's what they said.
That's what they said. I got you.
It was that one. I got the most talented. This is. I don't even want to say it.
Well, you've already started it now, so you might as well complete it.
But it was said most attractive. That went out to Quentin Stanley. I think he got it.
He did.
He did.
Yeah.
Yes. Very attractive brother. I ain't no shade, but I'm just telling you what was told to me.
No, of course.
Oh, here you are.
Don't do it. Clowning you the other day because we have to also recognize that this brother just got through doing the Atlanta Jazz Festival. Was it a month of jazz?
Yes.
What was it called?
So in Atlanta we do 31 Days of Jazz.
31 Days of Jazz. That was just May. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's May. Normally, I mean, if we weren't quarantined, it would be. So I mean, I'm sure every city is different, but here in Atlanta we do the 31 Days of Jazz. So it'll be in lots of different types of venues, different clubs, restaurants. concert halls. If somebody would be performing every day, and then the very last weekend, the very last weekend would be at the park. Now it'll be like, and then there'll be tons of performances those 3 days.
But I like the way that you guys did it this year. I was wondering when you were telling me about it, I was like, how are you gonna do this? And you're like, well, they're gonna bring us into a studio and they're gonna clean that out and blah, blah, blah.
It was good, man. I mean, I know in the music community, like we just needed to play. It's like, I know how, if you haven't been on stage in a minute, I know it's like you feel backed up, with all of this creative energy. So it was just good for me. There wasn't an audience, so that was different. It's like we're just performing into a camera, but it still felt good. And
you actually had 2 guest spots. You had your own night, and you were with
Tyrone Jackson.
Tyrone Jackson, and that was the one I actually was clowning me about, and he was schooling me about the different types of jazz. But when you say take off, it was like, pew! And I was like, man, do you have time to breathe?
It was a ride, man, and that show even more so than the other one. So when I did my show, I was performing with the guys that I normally play with. Kenny Banks Jr. on piano and Kevin Smith on upright bass. I didn't have Henry with me. Henry was in New York, and I just wanted to do like a more intimate feel, so it was just upright bass, piano, and me.
Okay.
But so what made the show with Tyrone even more of a conversation was we don't perform together all the time. So it was my first time, like me and Tyrone got together for like 20 minutes, 25.
Okay.
Because with certain songs, we talk about it. Okay, what's the key? Boom, boom, boom. Okay, how we getting in? How we getting out? Okay, boom. And let's let the less happen on the stage.
But just to let y'all know, 2025 is actually not a lot of time.
Oh yeah,
to prep for a show like that or that caliber. So
no, so then all of that stuff. So I didn't know what to expect.
Okay.
So when the music started happening, it's like, oh, okay, let's go. It's like a magic carpet ride.
Exactly.
Like, oh, let's go now. I'm having to listen, and that's the whole thing of the jazz. It's like you're listening, and it's a creative. You're creating at the same time, even though they're like you're in guidelines, but you have this box, not necessarily a box, but you have the outline. But then in here, you can make as many squiggly lines and stuff, yada yada. So on my first record, I did some standard. Yeah, I did 2. I did one from the first record, The New Standard, which is available on iTunes right now. Tony Hightower, The New Standard, and then I did one that's gonna be on Plain Jane song. That you wanted the authors on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When it first started, it was me and you.
Yeah, it was.
Developed
in the small little studio
at my mom's house. Yep. So I did Plain Jane, and then the rest of them were like standards. I Mean You was a Thelonious Monk tune.
Okay.
The arrangement that I do was done by Chick Corea featuring it's not. Yeah, I think he's on it, but it's what's the name of the album? It's got Shaka Khan singing it. Echoes of an Era.
Wow,
that's it. And I had always heard that coming up. My mom actually used to perform that.
Okay,
and so I used to love it. And then when I got ready to do mine, I wanted to do an arrangement of it. Did that? I did I Mean You, that all belongs to you. This song G Baby. That's a Nat King Cole song.
Okay.
G Baby Ain't I Good to You, which is gonna be on my next record.
G Baby is.
And
speaking of straight no chaser, I think Thelonious Monk had a song called Straight No Chaser.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool. And I recognized, and I was also laughing at you and with you because we love doing that. I think this was it might have been April. It's April or May, but you were kind of jamming out there outside in the area that we were in. It was to like a Brazilian?
Bossa Nova.
Bossa Nova?
Yeah, Brazilian music.
Now speak on your love on that, because you were saying that's just something that you really want to take on, and we actually tried to record something for another project, and it was an epic fail on my part, but I just can't speak Portuguese yet, and that's one thing I'm going to have to tackle.
And I want to learn it myself, because I would like to do a record like that. Now, I do have one on my next record. It's called Rendezvous. And it's a bossa nova record. I wrote and arranged it.
Okay. Now, when you say record, you're actually talking about an actual song.
Yeah.
Because some people know record as an actual full album.
Well, it's on the record. That's what I'm saying.
On
it
the
is
record.
on the album. It's
got
on
you.
the album that's going to be coming out. That one is going to be called Legacy. So it's a song on the album called Rendezvous. And I had a lot of the usual suspects on the record on the song. And then I have this guy who actually really does the bossa nova music, and his name is Rafa Pierre, and he's a percussionist, and he plays that. It's an instrument that goes. You hear it a lot in bossa nova music. I really wanted that instrument.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to listen to that because I ain't heard that before.
It's cool. You'll recognize it. I know it sounded funny.
Maybe it's just the way you did it.
Yeah,
Okay.
whatever. I remember when I fell in love with the music. It was when I was in 4.0. We were doing our promo tour for the record execs. Before you do your tour out with everyone else, you go to all the different cities and meet the people at the record label. You go and perform in warehouses for all of the people that are going to be doing the work for you or helping you with your project. So at a lot of those places, when you got there, they would give you all this music. All this music that's going to come out. You wouldn't know what half of it was. I mean, you might leave with a big box, a bag of like just CDs that back then CDs. So I had all these CDs. So now we fast forward to years later. I've had these CDs now 2, 3, 4 years. I start producing. And so I'm looking for things to sample. So I'm just trying to grab all the stuff I can find to sample music, find good loops or whatever. And I pulled this CD out, I'll never forget, it was called Bossa Nova Brazilian. And some of my favorite songs, which I hear now, like when I play my Pandora, I'll hear this song and I'm like, I remember that. These were some of the first songs I heard. I was like, what is this music?
Yeah.
I mean, I had heard it before, but that's when I fell in love with it.
I got you.
And I did sample a lot of it, but then I took that CD and put it in my car when I had the Bronco. I would play it loud. I had two 15s in the back or whatever, or whatever 12s or something, and I was playing Brazilian music in it loud, and I just loved it. So that's when
And people just confused. They're like,
why is this guy?
what's happening? So how would people recognize a Brazilian type track? Like, would something like Ipanema be a bossa?
That's definitely. Antonio Carlos Jobim is like considered one of the forefathers of Brazilian music, of bossa nova.
Okay.
So lots of his songs. That one, Ipanema, Waves.
And is it the pocket that you're more so?
It's the instrumentation. It's usually heavy, mostly percussion. It's the way they sing it. Most of the singing is like with this really airy tone. All of it sounds really sexy.
Yeah,
it's a really sexy romantic music. Now I don't know what it's talking about, but that's how it feels. Most of the music, or even on the ones that's up, like that's a bossa nova record. But I think that's a bossa nova fight song, like a rally song, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
I think that's what that is. But
what's the Brazilian martial arts called?
Capoeira.
Yeah, that's cool.
I did that for a little while.
Did you?
It's like a short stint. I never stuck with it, but I did it for a minute.
Are you a martial arts guy?
I'm into martial arts.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know that because you are as well. But thank you for asking for that.
No, I just want to see if you practice karate.
No, I'm into it. I like it. I watch all the movies.
That's cool, man. It's been a pleasure talking to you and chilling with you. I mean, we do this on a daily. On a regular, rather. But just to be able to invite you guys inside of not only the home of Tony Hightower, but just inside the life, the day in the life of Tony Hightower, the experience, the man, the myth, the music. And he was just talking about his last album called The New Standard.
The New Standard.
Which is available on iTunes.
On iTunes and
Spotify as well, right?
Yeah, on all social, digital platforms.
All digital platforms. And then your new album is going to be called?
It's going to be called Legacy, in honor of my mother, Theresa Hightower, the late great Theresa Hightower.
And now, when do you think that's coming around with a ballpark figure? I know the pandemic has kind of changed things up.
Off schedule, so I'm not really sure. I don't want to throw anything out. I would say please follow me on Instagram. I'm at Tony Hightower on Instagram. Follow me on at the Tony Hightower.
Okay, there we go.
THE Tony Hightower. And then on my website is www.tonyhightowerstandard.com. Follow me on Facebook and just look out for me. I'll be updating you with when it's coming and those types of things. So I hope you'll enjoy it. I'll probably be splashing some things out soon just to kind of get a feel.
It's kind of hard for me to talk proper. You see that? You got me there. No, but we go check him out. There's gonna be more stuff to come. And like I said, Upward and Onward Productions, along with our meeting at the Crossroads, is also just glad to and happy to have had Tony Hightower with us.
I'm glad
we have some other projects that are coming up, like we said, the Nat King Cole Show, as well as the Straight No Chaser. So look out for that stuff. And just want to say to you, man, happy birthday, brother. This is the birthday month. It's Gemini season.
It's Gemini season. Oh, and please, as soon as you finish watching this, go to my Facebook page, 9 o'clock. I'm going to be streaming, I'm going to post a show I did right before we started going through all of this pandemic stuff. And I hope you will enjoy it. And please share it to as many people as you possibly can. And tell me what you think, comment on it, let me know what you think.
Yeah.
Kiss me, baby. Kiss me, baby.